The last time, I'm going to do a quick recap. The last time I did one of these was what, 3 or 4 months ago, and I was talking about what I thought would be marketing trends as the year progressed. Actually, it was longer ago than that. I think it was pre-spring, and I said at the time that I felt that live streaming was going to grow. That there was a need to offer something of value. I'm not quite sure what I meant by that. A need to give back, to engage and be seen to engage with the community at large. I felt that content marketing was here to stay and here to grow. It was certainly not going to go anywhere. And there was a need for companies to let their clients contribute to that. In other words, if you're going to content market, you've got to put some grit in the oyster, even if it means them sort of taking a bit of a pop at you. Just say, okay, I take that on board. Here's what we're going to do about it. And the last thing was get personal, which the old can become new. Things like doing handwritten invites to things, and just taking care to remember that people are individuals. The people you're trying to sell to are individuals, and they will respond better to a personal inquiry than just some kind of generic email or letter or whatever. Anyway, I think all of those still hold true, but when I was thinking about this a bit more, there were a few things that came up. One is that I think there is a need for some good old market research. I think that a lot of us who are out there trying to sell whatever it is we're trying to sell are doing so on the assumption that our customers broadly haven't really changed very much. And I think they have. I think that, and I think we need to take that on board. And there's no substitute actually for just almost getting whether it's a literal or a figurative clipboard and asking them, how's your life changed since in the last 18 months? How do you see it changing in the next 6 months or 12 months or whatever? And then trying to tailor what we offer to that to their changed circumstances and situations. I think that's quite important. I think digital marketing overall is set to continue. I don't see that going anywhere anytime soon, but I do think that digital advertising has reached a peak. Whether a temporary one or not, I don't know. But I think basically people are fed up with being sold to online. I think I certainly am. If I go on Facebook and I see ad after ad after ad from this or that or the other, and I'm just like, get rid of it, get shot. I need to see. I don't mind being sold to, but I'm at a stage now where I'm open to other media rather than constantly being sold to digitally. It's interesting. I think that I was reading somewhere, and I'm afraid I can't quote the figures, but Spotify, the music streaming service, has seen a massive rise, not in user numbers, but in people who are paying £9.99 a month for the ad-free Spotify service. Not because they particularly want to pay £9.99 a month, they'd rather not, but they're just so fed up being sold to on that platform, which I think is quite interesting. What else have I written down here? Oh yeah, I think again, we've talked on here before about AI and the rise of bots. Obviously, there's a massive amount of work being done on that, but I don't think they're there yet. I kind of hope they're not in my lifetime. The idea of a copywriting bot is quite a scary prospect for the likes of me. So hopefully that's still a way off. But I know that as I say, a lot of time and money and resources being put into developing artificial intelligence. That is the way it's going to go. But when it's not there yet, there's not yet any substitute for basically putting the work in as individuals. And the other thing, which is slightly out on a tangent, which came up, which again some research I was doing a few days ago was partnerships. Now, I mean, there's nothing new under the sun. Partnerships have been around since the dawn of time. Is if I'm a copywriter. Now, if I partner up with Joe and say Steve and perhaps Colin, I can sell us as a full service agency. Because we cover all of those skills. So that there's nothing new in that. And I would have thought Thrivers of all people would be fully aware of partnerships and what they promise. But I think what's quite interesting is thinking slightly outside of that box. I was thinking particularly about what's his name, Jim Drew, and BizRev. Now, he supplies. I think I'm right in saying he supplies office space, does he not, to people who want it on a temporary or permanent basis? Well, there is a coffee company in Norwich called Cofra. Been going for a few years. They've now got 5 stores, I believe, around the city. Now he ought to be, well, no, it's not up to me to tell him. But on the face of it, that looks like an ideal partnership. To go to Cofra and say, look, I will sell your coffee exclusively to people who use the BizRev facilities, in return for which I get to promote to promote BizRev through your outlets. What could be simpler? Reaching well outside the box, he could do something similar with say the Apple Store. Just say, right, okay, if you sign up for a 6-month contract with BizRev, we've done a deal, so you can have 10% off an airbook, something like that. And okay, that's an obvious example, but I think there are, it doesn't really matter what business we're in. I think that we could all do with taking some time to think hard about what partnerships we could forge that might not be the obvious ones, but which would add value to what we individually and collectively offer. There you go. And that is that.